Following the principle of advertising in a different way from the standard flash banners on websites, what we can also do is use the brand product like so, whereby it's actually incorporated into the background of an interactive flash file. In this case with Papervision 3D, which is the latest technological development in AS3, AS4. And again, it's with the activation of buttons, we enable the carousel to revolve, as you can see. It's similar to the way in which the Apple slider or the Apple carousel works, albeit that this is actually with Papervision 3D. And here you can put in a dynamic text box so that it changes and corresponds with whichever image is in the center of the screen. So here it's the work by Gauguin at the Musée d'Orsay in Paris. Next is Chagall and Giotto. Okay, so those are some of the examples there. And again, you can interlink the images themselves to the specific gallery's website where the painting is on exhibition. So that's another example of tying a brand in with user interactivity as well as enabling them to get to an external website in an intuitive way. A more complex form of applying Papervision 3D is with the spherical AS3 program instead of just carousel deployment of it. I'm just going to quickly show the actions and give a flavor of what's involved. So essentially we're importing the Papervision 3D scenes and library, and then we are incorporating the mathematics behind the angles at which we want the sphere to rotate, as well as the angles at which the images are going to load onto the main background. So we put all of that into the coding for the planes as well as the arrays as well as how the circles are drawn. Okay, I'm going to do the test the movie, and what you will see is some error notifications in terms of the loading, but that's to be expected. There's nothing amiss actually with the end product, which is here. We can control the rotation of the sphere within the AS3, AS4 coding, as well as via the navigation of the mouse. So if we move our mouse to the right, the sphere rotates to the left, so clockwise. If we transfer the mouse to the left, the sphere rotates on an anti-clockwise basis. We could also tilt it upwards and downwards, again with the control of the mouse, with the limit. And again we have a dynamic text box at the bottom whereby the text corresponds to the specific XML file which is being loaded in as a JPEG image. So here we have Adam and Eve by Rubens, we've got Guernica by Picasso, we have Degas, Blue Dancers, Sunflowers by Van Gogh, and Magritte, Ceci n'est pas une pipe. Okay, so that's an example of how the 3D version of Papervision 3D can be applied in a spherical context. Next, what I'm going to show you is this fantastic site by some Spanish website designers and developers. What we see on screen is the interior navigation view, and this is all created on Papervision 3D. And if we actually rotate out, that's a fantastic development for Flash, right? if we click on each of the images, then the video will launch, as an example. We can rotate this sphere inside and outside, like so. We can also navigate it in terms of finding out what videos are available. So let's see, let's click on humor and see who has created a TikTok video on it. Philip Stark, Yossi Vardy, JJ Abrams. Let's go for JJ Abrams of Star Trek fame. So the globe will rotate until we arrive at JJ Abrams' video. There he is. Click it, we get drawn into the video, and it activates. So that's a fantastic way of applying as much interactivity as possible within a Flash file. And I'm really a big fan of the way in which they've innovated Flash in this way.